Hello everyone, myself Swati Jayavant Kokate from Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School. Today social science, I am going to teach you social science civics lesson number 2. Okay, so the lesson's name is role of the government in health. From the lesson's name itself, children, we are going to you must have understood that today you are going to see what role does the government play in health issues of people. Okay, so how does it work? We are going to study. In this we are going to study in detail what are these public and also private institutions or private things which we are going to study here. Today we are going to discuss about health as an important issue for the people. There are both, what I told, there are both public and private aspects of health. Health in India is not available at all. Okay, we can see in first lesson also we have seen that all are not treated equally. Fine. While the constitution supports, it tells that all should get the health treatment properly, but then too we find it unequal treatment for health care treatments also in this country. So while the constitution supports as a view that the right of health is an aspect of our fundamental right, its provisions is rather unequal. So these provisions are not equal for all the people. It's through the accounts of provided, learned with begin the visuals, ideals, desired role of government. So and the meaning behind it, its structure, how it frames, some way in which this situation can be changed, and we are going to discuss more detailed form in this lesson. So let us come to the lesson, role of the government in health. So children, we are living in a democratic country. So we expect people of this country, we people, common people, expect from the government for the welfare of ourselves or welfare of the people. This could be through the provision of education, health, employment, housing, or even development of roads, water supply, electricity, etc. So all these primary needs, whatever needs are there, and it should be provided very properly by the government. We expect for all these things should be provided in a regular way to the people. So but in this chapter we are going to see more about health, how the health is affected of the people and what is the role of the government in this, what are the duties, what it is doing, we are going to study here. So in this chapter we shall examine that the meaning and problems of the health. Fine. Look at the subheading also of this chapter. In this way, do you think this topic is related to the work of government? So is it related only to the government? No. So how the public also will contribute to it? We are going to study this also. Children, if I ask you the question, what do you mean by health? Very simple question it is. Now tell me, what do you mean by health? Now so many questions arise in your mind, isn't it? Health means just being very playful or just making some body or like this. Is it health? Or remaining only free from any illness, only this much is health? Remaining free from injuries, is it health? So what will be your answer? Tell me, what is health? Okay, your primary or just basic answer will be that remaining free from any illness and remaining free from any injuries will be health for you. But if I ask you, physically you are very good, okay, physically you are very fit, but somewhere some mental problem, something is going on your mind. So will you be able to concentrate on your work, on your studies, on your play, on your food? No. The answer will be no. Why so? Because even if you are mentally upset or mentally if you are not well, okay, that also is counted in health. So we can say that health is not only related to this one physical activities or physically, but it also contributes a lot in these mental aspects. So we are going to learn here what is health. We can think that health in many ways. Health means our ability to remain free from illness and injuries, what I told you. But health isn't only about diseases. So it does not only consist of diseases. You may also have some situations. You also may have seen some situations in the above this picture in on page number 19. So what we often ignore is what facilities we get. So have you ever thought about water in that health? Okay. So here we are going to see that what we often ignore is the fact that the above situations are related to health. Apart from diseases, we need to think of other factors that affect our health. Okay, which are those factors? For example, if people get clean water, drinking water, or a pollution free environment, they are likely to be called as healthy, because these water or fresh air contributes a lot for our health. On the other hand, if people do not have or they do not get adequate food to eat and also have to live in cramped conditions, they will be prone to illness, even if they are not getting proper adequate food to eat and also proper environment. They don't get this all conditions, favorable conditions for living healthy, then they may fall ill, we can say. So all of us would like to be active, isn't it? We think that we should be active and good, with good spirit we should work. Then when we will do this, when you will get proper conditions, proper water, good water to drink, proper food to eat, then and also what we call that pollution free environment. So in whatever we may be doing, it should be with a spirit. It isn't healthy to be dull. So whenever you think, that means your friend, suppose he is dull, inactive, then what we call that? He is not well, isn't it? For long stretches of time, if it is for long time, then we can call that where somewhere he is not well. We all need to be without mental strain. Yes, here I had also told that we should be free from any tensions, or there should not be mental strain, stress. All of these various aspects of our life is a part of health. So all these parts, all these aspects are a part of our life. So with the PPT or with the video, we are going to see this in more detail. Come to the video, students.
India is the world's second most populous country. Here are some basic facts about the healthcare in India. India has the largest number of medical colleges in the world. It is one of the largest pool of doctors in the world. Every year, about 15,000 new doctors are added to the pool of medical professionals. Medical tourism is one of the booming and flourishing industries of 21st century India due to economical yet world-class facilities offered by private medical care sector. India is the fourth largest producer and exporter of medicines in the world. In spite of these world-class achievements, the healthcare of India lags far behind in many areas. 21% of all communicable diseases are waterborne. This indicates unavailability of safe drinking water to a large population. 50% of all the children are malnourished. Number of victims of viral diseases like dengue and chikungunya have increased during last decade. Most of the well-qualified specialist doctors prefer to serve in urban areas. This in turn leads to unavailability of good healthcare facilities to large rural population. A healthy population counts for productive resources that can help a nation progress. Negligence of healthcare can have severe consequences on the national development. Therefore, proper attention should be paid towards maintaining and developing the healthcare facilities of our nation.
So students, in this we have seen that how we are facing problems in India. What is the healthcare in India? We are going to see a table here, which in A we can see what facilities or what India is having. On the contrary, we are going to see the next lines of what things we are facing problem in India. In spite we are having so many doctors, so many medical facilities, then to why these problems are there, we are going to see on page number 20. So come to this table children. Healthcare in India. Let us examine some of the aspects which you have seen just now in this video. Again we are going to discuss in detail. We are going to examine some of the aspects of healthcare in India. Compare and contrast it. Compare and contrast these situations and expressed in the first and the second column. As I said you, first we can see in the first columns we can see we are having so many facilities, but then too why these facilities are not been provided to each and every person, each and every common person of India. Now let us see. First point, we can see here India has the largest number of medical colleges in India, in the world, and is among the largest producers of doctors. Approximately 15,000 new doctors qualify every year. So here we can see that so many medical colleges are there, largest number of medical colleges in the world, and among this every year 15,000 new doctors are qualified. And see to the contrary, most doctors, then what happens? These doctors, they settle in urban areas. Why do they settle in urban areas? To live a comfortable life, to get more fees from the people. In rural areas they don't get all these facilities, so they settle in urban areas. People in rural areas have to travel long distances to reach a doctor. The number of doctors with respect to the population is much less in rural areas. So the distance, they have to travel a long distance to reach to the urban area to have a qualified doctor's treatment. Then the number of doctors with respect to this population is much less. What this means? Suppose how many doctors are required? Suppose that village requires number of doctors is 50, then only 10 to 20 doctors are available in that rural area. This means that the number of doctors with respect to the population is very less in rural areas. Now come to the second point. Okay, so we were discussing that healthcare facilities have substantially grown in India. In 1950s there were only 2,717 hospitals in India, but in 1991 there were 11,174 hospitals. and then the numbers have increased in 2000, the number has grew to 18,218. So we can see how many the numbers have increased in thousands of these hospitals. In the contrary, what we can see, about 5 lakh people die from. So we are having these thousands of hospitals in India, but then too, on the contrary, in this another column we can see that about 5 lakhs of people die due to tuberculosis every year. This number is almost unchanged since independence. So from independence also we can see that the number has not changed, the rate of these deaths have not decreased. Almost 2 million cases of malaria are reported every year, and this number isn't decreasing. This also of malaria patients also, this near about 2 million cases are there, and the death rate has also not decreased. Now in this third column we are going to see that India gets a large number of medical tourists from many countries. They come for treatment in some of the hospitals in India that are compared with the best in the world. So India's hospitals are compared with the one of the best hospitals in the world. So many tourists, patients, they come for the treatment of these diseases what they have. They come and they have the treatment over here, and again they go back. So we can say that it is one of the many hospitals are one of the best among the world. But in contrary, in the next column we are going to see that we are not able to provide clean drinking water to all. 20% of all communicable diseases are waterborne. For example, diarrhea, worm, hepatitis, etc. When on the other hand, where we are getting tourists, okay, for medical tourists, they are coming and having treatment in India. We are having not sufficient or good drinking water, and you can see that you must have learnt in science subject also that near about 21% of all diseases are due to water. Communicable diseases which spread through water are by these waterborne diseases. And what are the examples of these diseases? They are diarrhea, worm, hepatitis, etc. Now come to the fourth point. India is the third largest producer of medicines in the world, and is also a large exporter of medicines. So India is the third exporter of medicines. It is ranked third in the world, whole world, but it also exports medicines to other countries. And on the contrary, what we can see, half of all children in India do not get adequate food to eat, and they are malnourished or they are undernourished. They don't get enough food. So many children, they live below poverty line. They don't get adequate food to eat, also clean water to drink. When we are exporting so many medicines to other countries, even some of the children or some of the people in India, they don't get adequate food and water. These all things we have seen in the first video also. Let us see the next video, children.
It is the responsibility of the government to provide quality healthcare facilities to every section of the society in best possible ways. Health is an important factor that depends on the basic amenities and social conditions of the people. Our government has provided some good and economical basic health services to poor through decentralized healthcare and awareness campaigns. Let us now closely look at two instances that have played a key role in improving healthcare due to the effective and persistent efforts of the government. The Kerala model. In 1996, the Kerala government made some major changes by allocating 40% of the entire state budget to the panchayats for the improvement of rural healthcare. Under this scheme, proper planning was done to ensure availability of water, food to all, to provide health education and for women's development. The panchayats did a thorough check of water supply schemes, working of schools and Anganwadis. Due to persistent efforts and effective execution, the situation improved and rural healthcare in Kerala started looking up. Despite all such efforts, still, some sections of the society suffered from problems such as shortage of medicines, insufficient number of beds in hospitals, insufficient number of doctors to cater to the population. The Costa Rican approach. Now, let us consider an example of Costa Rica, which is one of the healthiest countries in Central America. Because of its unique constitution, the Costa Rican government decided not to have an army, and thus it could afford to spend the saved money on ensuring availability of good health care, good education, and other basic needs of the people. The Costa Rican government plays a vital role in providing various healthcare facilities to its citizens. The basic services and amenities like providing safe drinking water, providing sanitation, providing nutrition and housing. Health education is an essential aspect of education at all levels, and the government is very active in spreading health awareness across the country. After knowing about the two probable solutions, can you now think of the best possible ways to improve healthcare in India?
So, in this video, we have seen children that what facilities or how the government is on toes for providing proper health to the common people. Also, we have seen in this video that Kerala approach or Kerala experience, what they did. Also, we are going to study this in detail in this further lecture. Also, we have seen the Costa Rican approach also, how what they did, things did they implement for curing or for taking care of health. In order to prevent and treat illness, we are going to see what healthcare facilities such as health centers, hospitals, laboratories for testing, ambulance services, blood banks, etc. that are provided the required care centers and services that the patients need. In order to run such facilities, we need health professionals, okay, qualified doctors, nurses. Also, we need professionals who can advise us, they can diagnose us and also treat on this illness. We also need the medicines, the equipments that are necessary for treating the people who are not well, that are the patients. The facilities required are to take care of us. All these facilities are required to take care of ourselves. We have seen that India has a large number of doctors, clinics and hospitals. The country has also considerable experience and knowledge of running public healthcare systems. But this is a system of hospital. Then what is a public healthcare system? This is a system of hospitals and health centers run by the government. The government looks after the things, whatever rules and regulations are followed by these hospitals, they are given by the government. So, the government runs these public hospitals, public healthcare centers. So, what happens in this? It has the ability to look after the health of a large section of its population. So, in this a large section of the population is taken, and this population is scattered over hundreds and thousands of villages, that is rural area. We will go into more details in this. Also, moreover, there are phenomenal advancements in medical stores, medical sciences, whereby many people or many new techniques have come and treatments of procedures are available in the country. So, there is very advanced treatments in these hospitals. However, now we have seen contrary in the second columns, we can point out some drawbacks, how even if these things are there, we are getting the scientific treatments, okay, phenomena which are very well advanced, but anyhow this poor and the health situation in our country is, with all the above positive developments, we are not able to provide these healthcare facilities to every person, every people equally. This is paradox, okay, something that is contrary to what we expect. Our country has money, okay, our country has money, knowledge, lots of people with experience, but here we can come to the conclusion that they are not getting the necessary health care is not available to each and every person. So, in this chapter we will look at some of the reasons for this, why these things happen, we are going to see. Children, you can see on page number 21, patients usually have to wait in a queue, long queue, even if they are not well, to get these government facilities in these government hospitals. Now, I am going to show you this video, or we are going to just see one story of Hakim Sheikh, okay. Hakim Sheikh, he was a member of Paschim Banga Khet Mazdoor Samiti, that is PBKMS, an organization of agriculture laborers in West Bengal. Fine. It is a story of Hakim Sheikh. So, what he did, here let me show you the picture also. He was from this we can say that he was a poor guy, okay. He was working as a laborer in West Bengal, like this he was a laborer and he was working in West Bengal. One evening what happened, in 1992 he had accidentally fell from a running train. What happened, children? One day he was travelling in one evening, so he fell from a running train and he had injuries on his head. He was very serious, children. Then after falling from a running train, he got a severe injury in his head. He was very serious condition and he needed immediate actions of treatment. So, what happened? This Hakim Sheikh, he was a laborer, agricultural laborer, means he was working in some farm of other person who was having his own agricultural field, and he was a laborer over there. Then while travelling once, what happened, accidentally he fell from a train and he had a injury on his head. So, what happened, he needed a very fast treatment, he was in need of immediate treatment. Then he was taken to government hospital in Kolkata. Fine, children. Then after, when he had no more money, enough money to cure on these things. So, he was taken to the government hospital in Kolkata, but they refused to admit that guy, okay. This hospital people, they refused to admit. Then what was the reason for not admitting that Hakim, that guy? What was the reason? Because he did not have a spare bed. Then he was taken to another hospital. There also the facility was not that. What facility was not that? They did not have specialized doctors. Means he had an injury on his head, but that doctors who is specialized to do that were not available to treat. In this way, he spent 14 hours in this critical state. 14 hours he had to travel from one place to another. So, let us see in next video what happens with this Hakim Sheikh. We will see in this next lecture.